Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Fuel for Success. This is episode number 114. It's a beautiful Monday morning. Matt's going to be joining us in just a second here. And good to see everybody on here this morning. Today is Monday, and just like every Monday on Fuel for Success, we are going to be talking about health and weight loss. And hey, Matt, good to see you this morning. How are you? I don't have any audio from you. So we'll get that audio bug working out. Um, so just like every Monday, we'll be talking about health and weight loss. It's a great way to start your week to be focused on weight loss and health and fitness and all of those sort of things. I had actually intended to get up early this morning and go to the gym. That didn't quite work out.
Let's
So
talk.
hopefully I'll go later today.
Let's talk about what to do
Now,
when that happens, my friend.
when what happens?
Well, on the days this show's human. We're all very human here, and we're very
Right.
transparent. So, what about when those days when we want to get up early and get in our workout and we oversleep or life just happens? What do we do in those situations? Let's give some practical answers, and maybe some of our viewers can share. Because let's say you're like us and you live your whole life by a schedule, and if you miss your workout, you pretty much miss it, unless you know. So, what do you do in those situations, my friend?
Well, that's a great question. I actually I live by a partial schedule, so there's a lot of dynamic time that in my schedule, and it sort of has to be that way. But for me, what that means is that I'm going to have to try to wedge out a time later today, and it's not necessarily going to be easy because my day is kind of packed. So somebody's probably going to be disappointed because they won't be able to get what they need done today. That's pretty much what it means for me.
That means what? That you're gonna still make it a priority.
Yeah, I got to figure out a time and a way to do it. And of course, I could go at noon, but the gym will be packed then, and I really don't like it when it's packed. I'd much
Really?
rather be there when it's empty.
I'm intrigued by this. Let's hear why. You don't like to be bothered. You prefer just to get in and do
No,
it,
it's
get out. The machines are taken.
yeah, inefficient use of time. I hate having to like rotate in the machines. It's like seriously, I can stand here and wait.
I know. I'll be
So I
lifting.
usually,
I'll be in the middle of lifting, and a guy will say, "Hey, can I jump in with you?" And like, there's like two sides of me. There's the friendly side of like, "Oh yeah, sure," but then there's the side like, "What do you mean you want to jump in with me? Now I gotta wait on you to finish your reps." And but usually I let him in just because I'm a nice guy. So Mike, my question to you is this: a lot of people miss their daily exercise, whether it be their walk, their exercise. What do you believe are some reasons why people miss? I have a theory, real quick, I want to give after you share why you believe people miss, but because I deal with this a lot of my weight loss clients. A lot of my weight loss clients, the common denominator is this: they don't exercise daily, they do not juice at all. They don't drink enough water. They eat processed foods, fast foods, and they eat a lot of junk. And they eat whenever, however, they don't even know anything about portion control. So these are the reasons why their health is completely out of control, why they're overweight, why they don't feel good about themselves. These are the little things that they don't do. And one of the things is they don't make exercise a priority. So, in your opinion, what are some reasons why?
to a certain extent, I agree with what Al says. That people do what they want to do. I don't completely agree with that, but to a certain extent, I do. And so sometimes people will, you know, exactly like you said, it's not a priority. It's not something that they place as important uh, as it should be in their life. But sometimes, I mean, we sort of tend to think about and deal with things in an ideal sort of a scenario, thinking about things from an idealistic standpoint, and forgetting about all of the external influences that we have in our life, and the we all have relationships with people, we have families, and we have responsibilities, and all those sort of things that press against us as well. There's a lot of things that I do that I don't want to do, but I have to do. And so those schedule priorities and precedents impact our lives as well. But what just like with a financial budget, our time budget is the same. We have a certain amount of discretionary spending that we can spend on the things that we do want to spend it on. And so we can discretionarily spend time on things that we want to spend it on as well. And I think that sometimes we just don't spend that time where it needs to be spent.
Very good. Very good. I was actually coaching a client here last month, and he hadn't exercised. He said in years. He said it's been a long time. He said, I'll be honest with you, I'm so far away from exercise, and he weighs over 350. And I said, well, let me ask you this. This guy is a hard worker, and I said, so if you wake up every day, even on the days when it's raining and you don't feel like waking up, or even if your mom's in town, or even if maybe there's a game that you want to watch during the day, something that you want to do, but you still choose to go to work. You push past those feelings. You get out of bed when you don't feel like getting out of bed, and you go work. Why? He said, well, because I want to get paid. I said, now watch this. You go work 8 hours so you can get money on Friday, okay? 8 hours. You get out of bed when you don't feel like getting out of bed. You go work when you don't feel like working. 8 hours, Monday through Friday, so you can get money, okay? So now I want you to tell me why you should make yourself exercise when you don't feel like exercising. When you're busy, tell me why you should exercise. And we went through the why, okay? But I said, so here's the deal. You go work when you don't feel like it because you're going to get money. And you get on that treadmill when you don't feel like it because you're going to get a healthier body. And you're going to prevent disease. Exercise prevents disease. Did you know that? Do you know the majority of people that have had heart attacks, the doctor told them you would not have had this heart attack if you'd had more cardio in your life? So a lot of people are too driven by feeling. We want everything to feel easy. We want everything to come easy. I think technology has made us this way, and I think just society is just so driven because we want everything so easy. But, living a healthy lifestyle, sometimes there's days you're not going to feel like exercising, but you do it anyways because of the end result. And I just don't think enough people pay enough attention to the end result. And one more thing I want to say about that is I said, look, exercise must become sacred. It must become like, what time do you got to be to work on Tuesday? He said, well, I got to be in there by 7. Okay, what time you got to be there Wednesday? 7. Okay, so you're saying if you just decide, I don't feel like coming in, and you just show up at 10, right? What's going to happen? He said, well, most likely I'm going to lose my job. Watch. Okay, really? So if you just decide you don't feel like exercising one day, and then another day you don't feel like exercising, what's going to happen? You're not going to lose your job. You're going to lose your health. My friend, losing your health is a whole lot worse than losing your job because there's millions of jobs, but you only get one body. That's it. So don't neglect it. So in other words, if you've got to be to work by 7, you make sure you're to work by 7, right? So if you say I'm working out or I'm going to exercise at, 10 p.m. or 10 a.m., do it. Don't allow yourself to start cheating. Somehow try to get into a routine. I have found, I've studied every form of exercise. I've studied thousands of healthy people. I've coached a lot of people, and even in my own life, the best thing to do when it comes to exercise is to try to get into a good routine. A lot of people don't see success in their eating or in their exercise because they're not in a good routine.
I like that. Makes me wonder and think about the cultural impact we have in America, because we really live in a country where we almost celebrate people giving up their health, to advance their career, or neglecting parts of their life in order to advance their financial status. We almost celebrate those people as heroes, right? Like, well, he, totally went all in and worked 20 hours a day for 7 years to, and we'll celebrate that, even though that person may have lost, 3 marriages and maybe overweight and unhealthy and have cardiac conditions and all of that. We'll still in this country sort of celebrate that person. So there's almost like a misbalance in the priorities that we set as a culture.
Mike, do you know that we're known as the most unhealthy country in the world? Like, that's tragic to me, that America is known as one of the most unhealthiest countries in the world. And you can see why. Our lifestyles are out of control. I mean, the way that we live, the way that we the way that we eat. I mean, I was in Starbucks the other day and I was laughing with the guys because we were talking about the Trinity ice cream tea, which I get, But like, man, when you go into some other cultures and other countries and they see the sizes of our cups, they almost like pass out. They're so shocked. Like, our portions, most people eat as if they will never see food again. Like, this is where emotional eating comes in, and this is where food addiction comes into play. Because I've watched people eat like, it's like there's a spirit behind it. They eat as if they're never going to see food again rather than smaller portions. And some of the healthiest people in the world eat every 3 hours and they eat smaller portions. And I think that in our country, we're so used to big, huge portions that it's like, how do you even fit that in your stomach?
That's a good point. Yeah, there are some cultural things that we're trying to overcome when we're trying to gain our fitness, and part of it is, we probably eat at restaurants more than most cultures do as well, and in our restaurants tend to push portions and quantity as a way to maybe compensate for lower quality. So,
Well,
hey, you know what? Let me.
Go ahead. You got some questions coming in?
I got one, but what were you going to say?
I was going to say, most people joke around about their health too much. I hear it every day. Of course,
Probably.
Sitting at my table last night. I sold out of my Bible studies, by the way. This church, they get it. Dude, listen. Last night I taught. I went out of my element last night and I taught on soul winning and outreach. We had 125 people commit to a weekly outreach. So that was exciting.
Wow.
And my Bible study sold out. But anyways, everybody knows me also as juicing, right? So a lot of people come up and talk to me about juicing. And, I was talking to a couple last night who really had gotten into juicing. In fact, let me show you their picture because I took a picture of them. I'm getting ready to put it on Instagram later. They have lost so much weight. There we go. Take a good look at them. Awesome people, man. Anyways, they've lost so much weight. I think it's up to like 70 pounds now, just from juicing and drinking water and cutting out soda. So anyways, I was talking to them. I said, and I was praising them because last year I had actually taught a little bit about health and I taught about the benefits of juicing. They got my juicing book and they started juicing. The only thing that's now missing in their life is the cardio, the workout, the exercise, right? The keeping your body moving. Well, in the process of talking to them about it, somebody else come up, and I know I know a lot of it's insecurity, but I can't even tell you how many people joke too much about their health. Oh yeah, I would get, and it was an overweight person, and I would get into juicing and all that stuff, but that's just a waste of money and that's a waste of time. That's just all marketing and that's all. And I just was like standing there like, kind of perplexed that they had that mentality. I think too many people have they don't take their health as serious as they should. And when you joke about it, like when you joke, this is what I was talking yesterday, and we've talked about this on the show. But there's some things in your life that are not a joking matter. That's like when people say, "Are you a health nut?" Yes. I am a health nut. I get one body. Like that's it. When this body shuts down, my whole life is done. I'm no longer a dad. I'm no longer anything for God. I'm done. So why would I ever take my health lightly and make jokes about it? And when someone, make those kind of jokes, oh, that's just marketing. That's just, people trying to make money. That's another way. Them juicers or all those guys are becoming multimillionaires. You know what? If somebody creates a juicer like the owner of NutriBullet, if they're a multi-millionaire because they sold these juicers, I welcome that in their life. That doesn't bother me. If they got rich over selling juicers, why would you be jealous of that? Why would that even bother you for a second? Why would you if you see somebody that is blessed or lost weight? I'll tell you another testimony. In fact, you remember Pam Smith? She goes to this church. She came up to me yesterday. She's doing amazing, bro. She's doing health and wellness seminars now, where she's showing
Wow.
people how to cook healthy and juicing for people. Man, she's on fire. I said, look, I'm gonna have you on our show live. So I think next Monday I'm gonna bring her in the office and sit down and do a little interview with her. Man, she's lost over I think 80 pounds now, the healthy way. You should see her before and after picture. But she's so different from when I first met her to now. But I think it's because she took her health serious. And I think that you should not joke about health. And I don't think you should speak like I'll give you another example. Somebody was saying something to me yesterday about wheatgrass, and they were like, you know something? They literally said this. They said, there's no way that I'll do wheatgrass. That is a waste of money. $4 for like a 2-ounce wheatgrass. And they were like speaking against the price of wheatgrass. Now, believe it or not, I know what they mean, okay? But I wouldn't do that. I'm telling you right now, I would not do that. I would not make a joke out of the price of something that's going to make me healthier. See, people like that usually devalue themselves. And they say, well, that's just so expensive. You know what? Don't focus on that. You're creating a poverty mindset. You're saying your health is not valuable enough. And when I look at what most overweight people spend their money on, I was teasing somebody back yesterday when they said that. I said, well, really, what's the price of your cheeseburger? What's your cheeseburger cost at Chili's? Tell me right now. And what's your value meal cost at McDonald's? So yeah, but you get more for that. No, you don't. You don't. You may feel more full, but you don't get
You get
more
less.
at all. You get less. So don't devalue yourself anymore. You know what? You're worth $4. The benefits of wheatgrass, what you get out of it, you actually save money. You know the nutritional value in a wheatgrass shot, a 2-ounce wheatgrass shot is up to almost, I believe it's 4 pounds of raw fruits and vegetables. So you're actually saving money. So you got to learn how to look at things different, not be so locked into a poverty mindset and speak against it. Like, I can't believe those juicers are so expensive. Don't even say that. You're defeating yourself. Speak faith. Say, you know what? Don't say I can't afford to juice. Say, you know what? I'm not able to juice right now, but I'm getting ready to. You got to start speaking more faith into your future and not so much negativity. All right, I just kind of went off on a rant there, my friend. What was the question?
Well, actually, that's a great point. There's a perceived value. Remember, we talked actually last week about when perceived value exceeds price, then people give money, and those people are basically saying that they don't place any value on juicing, on wheatgrass, on those sort of things, uh, because they don't understand it. I like what Al said when you said $4 for a shot of wheatgrass. He said they need to go price chemotherapy, and
Ooh,
they wouldn't have any problem paying for
ooh.
$100 for a prescription of medicine that's probably really toxic anyways that they think is going to help them. So
That is
you
good.
know,
That is good, Al, and that's good, Mike, and you're right. The cost of wellness is cheaper, excuse me, is less expensive than the cost of sickness and unhealthy eating. If you eat unhealthy, you think you're saving money? You're not. Because I'm going to tell you the price you're going to pay in time lost in hospital rooms and doctor's visits and medications and surgeries, you will wish you could hit rewind and go back and say, okay, where do I get that wheatgrass again? What kind of vegetables and fruits should I be doing? People say, well, it's funny to me that people are even like, well, gym membership is too much money. I'm going to speak to you through silence right now. Okay? Are you saying to me that a gym membership costs too much? There's my answer. And there's Mike's answer. We just spoke to you through silence.
Gyms are way cheaper than hospital rooms, Al. That's exactly right. Hey, first of all, Christy, what is Raisin Rack? You ever heard of Raisin Rack? They sell wheatgrass 7 shots for $11. I wish they had one here in Hastings.
Christy, is that here? Because I'm going. I understand, Mike. Believe me, don't misunderstand this. It's all mentality. Even people say, well, I got 4 kids. How do I juice for a big family? Do it. Find a way. Sell stuff.
How do you cook for a big family?
Don't get a big car payment. Drive a used car. Do something. Do whatever it takes. Just don't make excuses, and don't devalue yourself. Even if you can't do it now, keep an abundant mentality about it, and keep an abundant mentality towards people that are able to do it. I think a lot of it, remember, it goes back to energy. It goes back to attitude. It goes back to, you got to have a healthy mind. You can't have a healthy mind when you have a poverty mindset or a healthy body. Excuse me. You can't have a healthy body when you have a negative mindset. And a lot of people are not able to become healthy because they still have poverty thinking. And you can't have poverty thinking and have this vibrant. Hell, it's Monday, guys. My goodness.
Hey, question from Christy Collins. She's asking, is it a known side effect of wheatgrass to have migraines or headaches? She's been doing wheatgrass for 5 days and has had some headaches. Doesn't have any wheat intolerance that she's aware of, and so she's basically asking if that's a known side effect. I would probably. Well, what's your take on that, Matt?
Well, actually, I have someone I'm very close to that just started doing wheatgrass and cut off coffee and is now doing green tea and starting to have more headaches. And I was telling them, I said, listen, stay patient with the process. A lot of these like ailments that you experience when you start to detoxify or listen, wheatgrass is powerful. And so you're going to see changes in your body. Your body is eliminating that stuff is working. And sometimes you might break out, you might get headaches, you might start feeling even some aches at first, maybe even a drop in energy at first. But if you'll stick with the process, those headaches will go away. I think a lot of it is because of just the changes that are taking place in your body. This is common, it's normal. Just stay patient. Like when people get off caffeine, like when people stop drinking soda, they might notice at first they have these headaches. A lot of it, Mike, is because of the habits that are being broken and the change of energy in our body and the detoxification process. That's my take on it. I'll just say stay patient, and then if it continues on for a long period of time, then maybe we need to talk about something else. What's your take on that, Mike?
Well, actually, I just noticed I misread her question. She said she's been intolerant of wheat, and I'm not sure that will necessarily carry over into wheatgrass because most wheat intolerance is based on parts of the grain, including the gluten and so forth, which don't exist in the grass. So there may not be a carryover of wheat intolerance to wheatgrass, but if it is,
there's not.
It's
not at all. Like anybody that's wheat intolerant can do wheatgrass. There's zero effects.
It is possible, just like any organic product, there could be some people who have an intolerance to wheatgrass that may not be related to wheat intolerance. If that's the case, what would you suggest as a next option?
From wheatgrass,
Yeah.
kale, spinach, chard. Um,
Hmm.
the power vegetables, greens. Definitely would definitely go kale and spinach. But I mix my kale and spinach up. I go kind of every other day. I don't do kale every single day. I usually do kale one day, spinach the next. In my juicing, I kind of go every other day myself, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. And sometimes you can have too much of something, and you need to be careful with that as well.
Yeah. Um, so that's, hey, Preston's asking a question about milk. He says, is milk not good for your sinuses? Um, I personally, we're the only mammals that continue to drink milk after we're weaned, and milk isn't really something that should be in our diet, as far as I'm concerned. And I know I'm going to anger a lot of the dairy farmers that live up where I live. I'm in the upper Midwest. This is dairy farm um, central, but dairy isn't good for you, anyways. Period.
No. Wheatgrass is gluten free, so there's absolutely no worries there. There's no wheat in it at all. So you're set. Whoever asked that question, somebody had texted that in for me. Uh, so Mike, we got about 3.5 minutes left. Were there any other questions that came in? If not, we'll just kind of review a few things for today and get people excited. You know what I love, Mike? I love that our health and weight loss show is on Mondays, because this is the start of a new week. And hopefully, we give you motivation to kick it back in gear, get back on track, exercise, eat right, live a healthy lifestyle, have positive energy. I hope we do that for you every Monday. And
Yeah. Um, so there's some discussion over here about milk causing mucus and that sort of thing, and actually, red meat is more of a mucus causer than even milk. It's a bit of a misnomer, but it does definitely. Any animal protein can have that effect. Um, Preston's also asking about Plexus. I'm not sure what Plexus is, other than I used to work with a company called Plexus that builds things like MRIs, but that must not be the one.
hey,
Um,
if I had
so
if I had $1 for everyone that has emailed me about a health product, right? Um,
yeah,
Shakes, this, that, and the other, it could reach the ceiling. So let me say this. I don't speak against success at all. I don't speak against anybody that's trying to improve people's health. I'm just going to tell you my philosophy. I stick with juicing, and I stick with wheatgrass, and I stick with exercise, and I stick with positive attitude. That's me. Now, somebody can show me a product that is truly all organic, extremely nutritional, good for you, and show me the benefit of it and what I could maybe get from it that I don't get from what I'm already doing for my health, then I might entertain it. So, and I'm only saying that because somebody asked about Polexis, because I get emails about Polexis every week. Um, so Carol's asking what kind of juicer she should buy.
well, we have like 9 of them in the house now, so I don't think that's really an issue. My take on any of the products is there is no shortcut. If you've done everything else, if you've increased your water intake, you're exercising daily, you're juicing regularly, and you're still not seeing the results you should probably see a doctor.
Yeah. But see the right doctor. That's a whole
Um,
discussion.
yeah, Joe's got a question here. I don't know if we can answer it, and yeah, you can answer this. You got 40 seconds, Matt.
Oh, we can do anything in 40 seconds, man.
Joe says he does mixed martial arts, and his classes are at nights. He's tried organizing his schedule around him, but it's difficult to manage a family of 5 around that evening schedule. Any recommendations?
You know, I think what I would do is, how many nights are his classes?
Joe, how many nights? 5.
Ooh,
5 nights.
yee. You know
Yikes.
what I would do, Joe, is I would maybe go for a month, get all the training, learn the workouts, and then do it at home because I don't see how you could tie up start fighting with your family. I love what Al said. I don't see what 3 was the goal. Okay. Well, I guess feel it out, Joe. I know you. You're extremely wise and you're extremely smart. Feel it out. If it starts to conflict, obviously you go back to your priorities. Anytime in life things conflict, go back to priorities. Go back to your priority list and take a look at it and live by priority. So obviously, I know, and it's hard because uh, but if it's one of those things where it's conflicting with family, then obviously it's got to be cut back, and you've got to find another way, maybe some kind of other option, to some other type of workout or other type of option, in my opinion. Joe and
Good.
Al are the best at asking good questions, man.
Hey, earlier Aaron had asked about the best place to buy a NutriBullet. I was going to sort of uh, tongue-in-cheek answer back wherever it's on sale, but Britton just put a great tip up here. Right now, Kohl's has it on sale for $100, and then there's a code Father30 to get 30, probably with Father's Day coming up, to get 30% off and free shipping. So you can get it for about $63, I guess, online from Kohl's. So you might want to check that. That's a smoking good deal. $63 for a NutriBullet.
Is everybody pretty much going to free shipping nowadays?
No, but that's one of the give backs. Some people are doing that. It's almost, I don't know.
Well, Juice for
It's not,
Father.
today's not our marketing show.
If we're gonna go ahead and talk about Father's Day, get your dad my new Bible study. You know what I'm saying? So go to our website and get that for your dad. That'll change his life. Okay, well, thank you guys. We love you. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our show about money and finance and wealth. We love you guys. We'll see you guys at 9 a.m. Don't forget, you can go to fuelforsuccess.tv to watch any previous episode, iTunes, download our podcast, and listen to these on your iPod while you're working out. And then you can also go to YouTube and watch them on YouTube as well. Mike, you just put something new up on Facebook, I saw. What was that? The book recommendation list?
Well, that's always been there. When we discuss a book on the show, I'll usually put it in the show notes on fuelforsuccess.tv, so you can click the link to purchase the book. Makes it easy for you. Goes right to Amazon. Just from a full disclosure standpoint, we've got an Amazon Associates account there. So if you do buy it through that link, it doesn't cost you any more, but we get just a few cents for, or some percentage for the referral to Amazon. So if you want to buy one of those books, buy it through our link, and we'll make a couple of bucks, and that would help support the show. So there you go.
We ain't got none but love for y'all. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m., my friends.
Have a great Monday, everyone.